The Gift of Gab Show, your go-to lifestyle podcast, covering everything from psychology and relationships to politics and current events. Live from Chicago, it's the Gift of Gab Show. Gift of Gab Show. Here's your host, Gabby Smith.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. On today's show, I have a certified health wellness coach, Miss Bianca Rose. Bianca, how are you?
Good. Hi, Gabby.
Well, Bianca is an author, a mom of two beautiful children, I might add, a wife, and a founder of Om Space, which is a holistic living e-magazine, which is created to really help people feel and look their best. Today, Bianca is going to share her perspective on healthy living tips as well as holistic nutrition to really help people out there, make smart choices and try to live a more balanced life. So welcome to the show, Bianca. So let's go ahead and get started. How did you get into wellness coaching and living a healthier lifestyle?
So, I just want to thank you so much for having me, Gabby. I'm really excited to talk to you and share this information. So I basically started just naturally drawn to this whole field of natural health and wellness. I just have been always fascinated with the body and the mind and how it can really heal itself on its own, whether it's just a cut or scrape to even reversing diseases. The body can just do it on its own, and we were made to naturally heal ourselves. So back when I was really, working a lot, stress, and just personal journey, I was always looking for alternatives, and so I researched and learned all about natural health, nutrition, and holistic healing. And also, when I was growing up, my mom, she was diagnosed with stomach cancer, and that was a very rare cancer at the time. And, I was very young at the time, so I wasn't really into this and knew all about it. But after she passed away after 4 years of having cancer, I even wanted to learn more about it and just did a lot of research. Actually went back to get certified in nutrition and wanted to help people just learn more about this so they can really take care of themselves and feel more confident that they can take control of their own health and life as well.
So it was really your mom, her diagnosis of stomach cancer that really started to spark that interest. How old were you when all this was going on?
So I was about 10 when it started. Still young, I look back and I'm like, I wish I knew all this stuff that I know now.
Well, and when you were 10, we didn't have all the tools that we have now, right? We've got the internet, we've got so many resources at our fingertips at 10 years old.
Exactly.
What did you have?
Yeah, exactly. Chemo, it's still big now, but it was even bigger then, and they really didn't have any other alternatives. And, I'm not against medicine, but there are things you're like, let's just start from the root of the problem first, and try some alternatives. I don't think people are really, even back then their minds were wrapped around that, and that's what I just love sharing more about, because I think people just need to be educated more on learning about that,
So do you feel like our society, we rush to take medication before we even try to go the healthier, natural, holistic route?
Definitely. I feel like we're kind of being brainwashed too. But I feel like, it's kind of like just curing or putting a bandage on things when they want to, give medicine or, here's a quick cure. And it's not really going to that root of the issue or concern or disease. And it's just kind of masking it. So I think sometimes it's easier for both the doctor and the patient, here, just take this or do this. I think if we just try to go more to the root, it really can cure all the layers of the healing process, and it can reverse disease completely. But I'm also saying I'm not opposed to medication because, I think there's a reason we have it here and God put it on this earth because, worst comes to worst, it's there. But I'm always first response, let's go for the natural, root of the problem and see what caused it and what's under the layers, to heal.
When you say the root of the problem, what have you found in your years dealing with clients? What have been some of the roots of the problems that you've discovered?
It could be anything from, let's just say, cholesterol or diabetes, just what you're putting in your body. I always start with food just because, sometimes we're just so used to eating certain foods or a lifestyle that we're always used to doing certain things, and just coming to, asking questions, doing a little bit of a health history, or just finding out what, you're doing, and putting into your body, because that can really affect big time as well. And then also, what you're surrounding yourself with, whether it's different toxins or stress, or even people, that can definitely take a toll on you as well.
But you are clear. I mean, you do say that you do believe in taking medication, but try the holistic natural route first. So if someone has some type of genetic issue, say high cholesterol, runs in someone's family, or high blood pressure, and the doctor is recommending medication, your suggestion is to try the natural route, and then if it doesn't work, try medication?
Yes, I think, worst comes to worst, try the medication. But there's always, I've witnessed, I think I'm just so passionate and believe in, the more holistic route, because I've witnessed many clients or just people I've come across that have reversed their, disease, and a lot of what you just listed, like, high blood pressure, diabetes, and even fertility. So it's able to be done, and it's definitely between, food and just mind and body, a lot of different things that can totally reverse this. So it's pretty fascinating at the same time.
Well, how have you been able to do that? How have you been able to help reverse fertility? How have you done that?
People, they might not realize every day what they're putting into their body. So maybe they're just, think they might be eating healthy, but they just need a couple of tweaks, like, and the biggest thing is quality too, and trying to get fresh food and vegetables into the body. I'm a big fan of like smoothies and juices, because that's an easier way to kind of get a ton of fruits and vegetables in your body, just in a, even one a day, and then just really starting with food and just kind of checking out what, sometimes the big thing I also find too is emotional. Like, a lot of people don't realize like how much, the emotional health is taking a toll on them, and they could be eating healthy and exercising, and then, but they might be in like a bad relationship, or they have a weight on their shoulders from work, and just talking through, like, and basically that's what I do with the coaching, is working through all of it, and, making sure we list all their goals and trying to reach each one by working through each one, whether it be physically, emotionally, or mentally and spiritually as well.
And trying to manage stress, it sounds like.
Exactly. Yes, that's a big one.
Let's go talk about the food. So what would you recommend would be, say, the 3 must-have foods that everyone should keep in their houses?
The easiest thing is just having like one green on hand, and I always go to spinach because that's always easy. You can make a salad with it, or you can, saute it and have like a side dish, or you can throw it in a smoothie. So I always tell people, just have spinach on hand. It's easy to do a lot of things with. And avocados is a big one for me. I always encourage people to have a healthier fat, because that will boost your metabolism. It's kind of, people say, wait, what do you mean this is like a fattening food? But it's actually a healthier fat, so it's going to help the body boost the metabolism and actually lose weight, and it's really good for your brain too. So avocados are always an easy thing to keep on hand and snack on. And then probably number 3 would be, I'm a big fan of chocolate, so I would say raw cacao. It's one of those things that you could just keep on hand, throw in smoothies, or make some, protein balls with it, or protein bars. So those are my top 3 I like to tell people.
Okay, so spinach, avocados, and chocolate. So let's go back to spinach. Does it matter if it's frozen versus fresh, or you think fresh is just the way to go?
That's a good question. Actually, frozen is just as good. You can even, if you can get it organic frozen, even better. But when they freeze it, it's not taking any of the nutrient value away, so it's fine to have frozen as well.
Now, you mentioned organic. Does it have to be organic? Because I know typically organic can be more expensive.
No, you don't have to do organic. I always say organic when possible. But with what's going on right now and all the farming and pesticides, I try to encourage people, if you're able to, try to pick organic when possible. But if not, there's also, just natural, like, supermarkets. If you can go to the farmer's market, even better.
Now, avocados, right? I've heard a lot of good things about avocados. And chocolate. So what type of chocolate? Dark, I hear, is better than the milk, right?
Yeah. I mean, dark is best because you're getting more pure chocolate than, milk. They mix a little bit of different things in there. But any chocolate, but I even like the powder form, because you can just throw it in a smoothie or any of your different you can make like protein balls with them and different things, but it's really good because it has magnesium, so it balances the body. A lot of us are lacking magnesium, and that actually helps with stress and calming the nerves. So probably why we all love chocolate sometimes is we just need to relax a little bit. But, it's really good. It has a lot of nutrient value in it as well.
Well, that's good to hear because I love chocolate, so I will be adding that to my smoothies. But honestly, Bianca, I got to be honest, because eating healthy and all of these items that you talk about, it can be expensive. And a lot of people that are on a strict budget, a lot of times they feel like, you know what, I don't have the money to be healthy. It's easier to get a Happy Meal at McDonald's versus, eating spinach and avocados and all these healthier items. What would you say to those people that are on a strict budget that really want to be healthy, but they say they can't afford it?
This is a big question I get a lot. And I feel like you have to kind of look at it in different ways and different views. But I always say, do you want to spend money when you're sick and it's too late? Maybe you have to go to the doctors or medicine or hospitals. Or if you want to just try to spend little by little each week on quality food to feed your body and prevent these diseases with quality food and nutrition. So I always just say, do as best as you can. I know there's all different situations, and if you can shop even at different local stores and try to see the different deals and sales, that's what I do. And you try to stack up or bulk up on if there's a sale, so you have those items. And I truly feel that you have to kind of look at it a different way, because sometimes you'll spend so much money on medication or different things like that. And if you can try to spend it a little bit on the foods or what you're putting in your body, you'll be surprised how great you'll feel, and hopefully you'll not get sick as much,
So even though you'll be spending, in short term, long term, you won't have to deal with the medication and being in the hospital and some of the diseases that come with not eating healthy throughout your life.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Now, I mentioned McDonald's, but thankfully, a lot of these fast food restaurants are coming out or have already come out with healthier options. So that is a good thing. Yeah. So you can actually get healthier alternatives from the fast food restaurants. But what do you think is the number one reason why people aren't healthy?
I think everyone always has an issue with time. So there's, don't have enough time to eat healthy, make things, or different things. And I think time's a big one, and it is hard because we're very busy, and the world out there, we can get caught up in so many different things or activities or socialization. So I think time, is a big one, and if you can just make time, even if it's 20 minutes a day, to either make yourself a smoothie, which is usually pretty quick, or if you can prep something for your lunch or dinner and just make time for yourself, because it's really going to benefit you down the road, and it can make a huge difference in how you feel. You
mentioned, taking that time, taking 20 minutes to focus on yourself. So what would you say would be an ideal day of food for you? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. So say someone wants to get started. They're like, you know what? I'm inspired. I want to go ahead and be healthy. I want to start the next year off, 2017, with a bang. What would you recommend? What are some good meals for them?
For food, I would say for breakfast, a great way to start your day is you can do any kind of egg scrambled, or sunny side eggs are always good because they're protein and they fill you up pretty good for the most of the morning and day. And then you could do that with a smoothie or juice as well. And then for lunch, a good option is a chicken lettuce wrap. I always have that. Usually some kind of lettuce wrap, either throw in some vegetables with hummus or chicken and avocado. That one's always easy, and you could throw it in lettuce or one of the multigrain wraps. And then for dinner, I'm always a big fan of steak or just chicken, anything, one protein and a vegetable. So I always like to have broccoli or asparagus, and that's typically a good day of food. And you could always make sure you're drinking lots of water with lemon is ideal.
Now, you mentioned eggs.
Hydrated.
Right, exactly. So you recommend making sure to get those 8 glasses of water in, the 64 ounces a day?
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of us just forget about the water, and it makes a huge difference, especially if you're hungry. Sometimes people think they're hungry, and actually sometimes you can just be really dehydrated or thirsty. So I always drink a full bottle of water if you can, with lemon, and see how you feel. And we just have to keep ourselves hydrated. It is really good for our health, and just eliminating any toxins throughout the day as well. Now
let's go back to breakfast, because you mentioned eggs. Is it okay to have the yolk? Because I hear it's good for protein, but high in cholesterol. So what is your take on eggs?
I gotta laugh. I get that all the time. As much as I've researched and what I found good for most clients in my body is the yolk is actually really good for you. It has a lot of healing and nutritional value for your brain, and it's really high in protein as well. And actually, it's a lot of controversy with the cholesterol, but it actually doesn't raise your cholesterol if you're getting good quality eggs, especially brown pasture-raised eggs are the best. If you're getting good eggs, it's really good to have the yolk, and it's good for your brain as well.
And for snacks, what would you recommend throughout the day?
Snacks, I would say for sure I would do like either a protein bar, or if you could even make your own protein balls, I call them superfood balls, would be great because you could always throw those in your purse on the go.
What are protein balls? I've never heard that.
I call them protein balls. They've been my go-to lately. It's just you could basically put like a nut butter, like almond or peanut butter, with any kind of nuts, like nuts or seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, even chocolate chips. You just kind of mix them all up, and you can actually form them into balls, and then you freeze them or freeze them or refrigerate them, and they become solid that you can just take them as a snack.
Oh, that's really creative. I like that. Okay, I'm going to have to try that.
They're good for the kids, too.
Yeah, well, that's true, right? Because kids are always hungry. Now, we talked a lot about food and some of the best meals. What about exercise? Because exercise clearly is also important, but how important is it trying to balance exercise with a healthy eating lifestyle?
Yeah, I think it's very important. They go hand in hand for sure. The only thing is sometimes we're doing one or the other. Like either we're exercising every day, but we're not getting the results we're feeling because we're eating poorly, and vice versa. We're eating really great, but then we're not moving or exercising, and we won't feel like as energized or toned. And so I think it's very important to balance both if you can, and just even if you go for like walk or, if you can just take a few minutes out of your day to lift weights or do like one of the classes at the gym, that will really help you, stay motivated, but also eat healthier. Because once you're exercising, you're automatically going to want to eat healthier, hopefully, and it'll motivate you too. And then vice versa, when you're eating, you want to make sure you're moving to just keep the blood flowing, oxygen, and building muscle as well.
So we've got to build muscle, we've got to move, we've got to change our kitchen and what we're eating every day. But if someone... It's a lot, right, to get started, but it's important to just start. Now, would you recommend someone that is totally just eating bad, not exercising, would you recommend they do a detox to get started just to kind of flush all that bad stuff out?
Yes, yeah, it is a good way to get started, and I just want to say it sounds like a lot, like maybe you got to do this, and this, but it's just getting started. Like even one little thing, if you pick and choose one thing, it all just starts happening on its own. Once you do one thing, you'll start doing another thing, and you'll just naturally want to help your body in different ways. But I would say, yeah, detox and cleanses are a great way to start, because they do flush out all the toxins, and then you actually will start feeling like, the body will feel good, and you want to put good foods in the body from there. But also just even starting small and, eating like just fresh foods like vegetables or fruits, because some of us sometimes might just be eating more boxed foods or processed foods, and you start putting more fresh foods in your body, you'll start feeling more energized, and it will jumpstart your whole mind, body right away. So I always say just start with even fresh foods. Getting more into your diet will be huge.
And it'll give you that energy. So a lot of times people are reaching for coffee when they could actually be changing their diet to get that energy boost.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it sounds crazy, but like even a green juice will energize you more than coffee. But I'm all about balance. So if you want to have both at the same time,
go for it.
It balances each other out. But coffee is great too, as long as you're having just like one a day or so, you're fine. In moderation, right? I don't think to overdo it. Well, you also, I know, believe in essential oils, adding essential oils to one's diet. Can you describe what these oils are and why they're so important? Yes. Yeah, I love essential oils, and I think it's just another layer of natural health and healing that you can add to your lifestyle. It's a great alternative to, like, especially with kids. I've been really using them more now that I have the 2 kids, and, just even from colds and flus to sleep problems or any issues that come up, I just automatically go to the oil because they're like an alternative medicine in a way, that you can use on the body or just diffusing it. And I've seen huge results, like even just building your immune system, or with the colds and flus, like we use them in the house just to keep the house clean and clean the air. And it's like huge. Like we've been much healthier just from these oils. And I like them because they're just like another alternative to medicine as well. And you can do so much with them.
So where does someone get these oils?
So you can get them through me. They're on my website, theomspace.com. And I'm a big fan of the Young Living oils because they're very pure and high quality. I've done a lot of research, and those are the best ones I've found. And they're very healing. They're therapeutic grade. So, you'd be amazed. If you have, like, even nausea, you can use certain oils, and within a few minutes to hours, you'll feel better. If you have sleep problems, there's a whole bunch of oils you can use, or even balancing emotions. So, yeah, you can order them through me or my website, and there's different, or just email me and I could help you with the right oils.
These oils are pretty powerful. I mean, they can do all that. So how can our listeners reach out to you? How can they reach out to you with further health questions or, their own personal consultation?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. It's the Om Space, or you can go to my website directly, which has everything there as well as the links, but it's theomspace.com, and you can also email me directly at bianca@theomspace.com. And like I said, all my info is on my website.
All right. That is omspace, SPACE.com. Well, Bianca, thank you so much for being with us today. You have shared so many new and different perspectives on holistic nutrition. And I'm just really excited to hear just how much power food has, as well as essential oils that can really impact people's lives. So you're inspiring, and I'm so happy that your life has taken this course, because I think you are really helping out a lot of your clients and hopefully new clients as well. So we wish you well, you and your family. And again, thank you, and we look forward to having you back.
I'm just so glad to be on your show, Gabby. It's been a pleasure, and I'm so honored to know you, and I love what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Well, Bianca, you are welcome anytime, okay? So come back and continue to heal the world. I think you're doing an awesome job. So again, everybody, thanks for joining me today, and reach out to Bianca on her website and get more information about your own personal health. Thanks, Bianca.
Thank you.
The Gift of Gab Show, hosted by Gabby Smith, is sponsored by Bar Louie, located at 1325 South Halsted Street in Chicago. Go there for the handcrafted martinis, 30 beers on tap, and delicious food. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. As Bar Louie always says, eat, drink, and be happy. Make sure to check out Gabby Smith at giftofgabshow.com and follow Gabby on Facebook, Gabby Smith, on Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest at Gabby Smith Show. Then stop in and check out her YouTube channel, Gabby Smith.